Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. If you watched my first video, you would realize that one of the first 3 books I was reading this month was going to be The Long Walk by Stephen King. Well, that has been finished today, and I want to go over it real quick. So ultimately, I really enjoyed this book. It was pretty short, but it was very easy to read. So I think going into Stephen King and his giant just category of books, catalog of books, this is probably one of the easiest ones to start off with. So I think you could take it as 2 different ways. I know I was really hoping for it to come out to be a very literal, not open to interpretation type of story. That was just being selfish, though. Or there could be a way where you could be really looking at it from metaphorical standpoints, and I think that's what I'm really reflecting on right now, despite it being more of a dystopian future type of book back when this was written. So let's dig into it real quick. So right off the bat, I'm not sure if it's because I also got the Stand By Me book art and all that stuff just in my mind, and I've never, watched that or read that, so I was confusing the two. So at first I was thinking that The Long Walk was just featuring like 4 individuals, and the expectations going through it over and over again before I started reading it, I was believing that it was going to be, 4 individuals get kidnapped, they're all put on, to this challenge or whatnot against their will. People are betting on them, and whichever one of the 4 wins gets to survive. So it's definitely not like that at all, though loosely there's some parts of what I was thinking was going to happen definitely did happen. So this is more like a Hunger Games, very loosely, something like that. There's 100 individuals, and throughout the story, you either realize why each one of those individuals are there, how they're there. Was it possible that someone else was going to take their place, or did they take someone else's place? So, yeah, definitely 100 people. Starts in Maine. They're from individuals from all over the place, especially my favorite character in the book, Scram. I really thought he was great. He was just like a hick. He had a wife. He was from Arizona, and even though it doesn't, really resemble anything about me, when I was in the military, it definitely, his personality is one that I ran into quite a bit, and just running into him as a main character, Ray Garrity, and the others actually like starting to really understand that, even though thinks he's going there, he's, maybe, the hotness from where he's at, he has no intentions to lose to anyone. He's coming out there, just straight for the kill, and is pretty blunt about it. So there's definitely, individuals from all different states. You have one from Illinois. The main character is Ray Garrity, and he is from Maine. Everyone, says he's a hometown guy. There's going to be more people cheering for him opposed to the others. But anyway, so it starts off, basically you just slowly getting to know him. There's a little bit of information here and there of like, what the walk is, why it exists, who's in charge of it. And as it starts unraveling and you're getting to know more of why people are there, how they signed up, how do they get into this mess, who the, I guess, head honcho, the major is, you're starting to realize that, is this really about just this dystopian future where 100 individuals, maybe each year or so, go out there and only one of them survives at most, and it's a way for population control or a way for the authoritarian government to keep control over the population. You start wondering, you're like, okay, is this really what it's about, or is it something more of like a metaphor just about life, where no matter where you come from, no matter if you're related to a certain person, or you're, starting out where you're from, or if you're moved somewhere else? Is this more about just life and death? Is a major, more like a God figure where, he brought you into the walk. He's going to take you out of the walk. He sets the guidelines and the rules for the walk. And you're basically just going in there and forming bonds with individuals that, maybe you don't like, or you grow to like, talking about the experiences, things that you wanted to do but couldn't do, and you keep going through, and then ultimately, you're going to meet your demise. You're going to die, and is it going to be, 50 miles ahead of someone else? Is it going to be the most athletic, most strongest person that knows the most about different methods or rules or tips to go into the race? So there's definitely a way you can look at it from that. And even though I want it to be a very straightforward story, and you're able to see the winner of the story post-race, you're able to see what the outcome of it is, and learn more about the major and the origins of the race, and the individual's father or parents who get basically taken away for going against the government. I really wanted to see more of that, and obviously now that I'm thinking about it, just real time, I just finished it, I'm definitely thinking about more of a metaphorical angle about, hey, this is just life. And as you're reading page by page, it's just quicker and quicker, learning about each of these individuals. You're tapping in, you're like, hey, I know someone like that, or hey, that reminds me of this person, or who would I be on this long walk? Would I be Ray Garrity? Would I be Mick Vries? Would I be Barker? Hopefully you want to be Barkovich. But it definitely reminded me a lot of my time in the military. And definitely when the military started off and I was going through, basic training, and I'm just sitting there with 50 other random guys, and we're from different areas in the country, different backgrounds, different religions, different, just goals. So a lot of them, just wanted to be the top of the spear, the tip of the spear, and knocking out all the physical challenges and making sure that no one else is coming to them. Intelligence, maybe they come from a military family and they got a lot of the tips, so they're just sitting in the background, like maybe a Stebbins, and just slowly just, watching everyone else make mistakes that they know they're not going to make. I really like the story. I think it's going to be one that maybe I read every 10 years just to, make me appreciate it a little bit more. No, it's not a fantasy. It's not, one where there's going to be like a sequel book and you're going to find out, or a prequel, sequel, or something like that, where you get to actually find out how this world came to be. It's more of, this is what it is, take it, how you interpret it, and I think that's definitely something pretty special. So with this being the first book review that I'm doing, I know there's a lot of, places where people are ranking their Stephen King books from, S tier to the bottom tier, and they can name it however they want. And this one usually isn't rated, or is rated like somewhere in the B tier. I would put that here right now. I'm gonna go ahead next and read The Body, as well as Salem's Lot, and then we can see if this remains a B, or if it drops lower, or those other two are so much better in their own rights that maybe this seems like it needs to stay where it's at or going lower. But thanks for tuning in. I think last time I checked, I got quite a handful of subscribers, so thank you. Hopefully you stick with me, and if it wasn't so windy, I'd be in my other room, so hopefully the sound turns out